It's August 24th, and somewhere on the Earth globe, I have my son. One of my sons says to me, like, one of their favorite lines used to be, "Get to the chopper!" Like, the three boys used to play with those earphone thingies and the movable mouthpiece thingy. They used to play pilot simulation and all sorts of Call of Duty Modern Warfare stuff. And the three of them would play on the same floor, two in the same room, and one down the hall. And they would sim, and then you'd hear them like calling out to each other. So, like, they were playing like team. I mean, they're absolutely, all three of them are absolutely amazing. And I'm sitting here without them since the Ottoman rapist now has all of them, and I'm not able to see them. Rarely do I get a chance to see them because somehow I became the enemy in all of this. Like, right, I raised them by myself, didn't ask for any help. The Ottoman rapist was dead to me, never spoke badly of him whatsoever, or of his family, or asked questions. Raised the children like he didn't exist, and that I was this happy-go-lucky, healthy, whatever, just to keep things at a steady pace and act normal while in perpetual waiting. And somehow I became the bad guy. Yeah, you humans are a bunch of fucking shitbags. Alright, so now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, there's in Kingdom somewhere, they measure the weight in KIL, KIL-O-GRAMs. Oh my god. That's a metric? Yeah. They kill in grams. It's a beautiful thing sometimes, when they get it right. And then, so that's kilograms, and usually that's where the monetary value is pounds. I mean, you villainous heroes. And then that run the homicide, suicide, genocide club. And then there's the side of the world where Lords of London threw in a US pound system of body matrix weight. So it's no longer kilograms, now it's actually pounds of flesh. And it's a US dollar system for the dollhouse. I'm just letting you know, because I noticed that somewhere in the respectable arid Emirates, where it's arid climate all year round, except if you go to the tall peaks, they are usually not known for patience when provoked, and they like to get things moving, so sometimes they can be self-starters. And I'm worried and concerned by the visual recon the media men are throwing me, that I noticed the difference between the airplanes that say Air Force with dual prop propeller planes, or dual, I don't know, it looks very different than the commercial human trafficking leisure jets the FAA controls on my side. So now FAA controls my commercial jets, but the forts of Fort Bragg, you weren't included on this list, I don't know why, but whatever, an artwork on the rise. I noticed that the dual prop, we'll call it, planes over in arid climate all the time, trying to get out of some airport, right, they have to fly without tail fin or without whatever you're going off of, they have to have clearance by an army base. Now, that is just why it is so darn important at Fort Knox to keep family members on the scene. Because it's like radio says, no, no, can't drop off a whole flight full of passengers. Yeah, no, I know the FAA regulation on the commercials, right? They're not telling you guys, right? They don't accept the currency. Oh, imagine, right? Yeah, no, I got tetragrammaton stuff going on. So now let's just see. So I'm just curious, who's been letting the custom not American to join what you all call American from the arid, not us, elsewhere, in these large ships, these large air cargo planes. It's like, you're gonna use it for what? Right. Why did they even get sold these planes to begin with? Like, humans are not allowed to fly. It breaks laws of nature. They're breaking the law. And it's because Department of Defense said so. So if they go up, they are subject to going boom right in the sky where they took off. They don't make it very far. That is what we say. Because there needs to be some control over this, and so far it looks like a lawless system from what the news is throwing my prisoner of war stats over here. Well, I've got guns mysteriously going off in Glitch Mob, and some blonde woman somewhere getting 15 million, and I still have nothing. It's amazing how that works in your shitbag human existence. As we're in an inverted energy crisis star with origami points of one white woman who knows the Milky Way, the galaxy, the universe, and the earth, and everything in between, and has very special place she needs to be at, right? And you all think like your airplanes and trafficking your children into like prostitution rings is more important, so you have more drug, like the natural drugs clientele, right? Yeah, okay. So, and then your upper echelon is pushing synthetic drugs and trying to make everybody think that they're mentally crazy. Wow, it's been a real fun, not so much, with all of you, just watching you from afar. So now let's think about this. So yeah, I got a legend going on between kill some grams at the pound and some US dollhouse dollar for BMI pounds. Oh, because they consume shit almost like human garbage cans, and then they run other dangerous terror organizations. This is like organizing disorganized chaos. It's really poorly choreographed, I'm not gonna lie. At least from my end, none of you seem to ever give a shit. I met one important Italian guy who was nice enough to come out and show up, but not that that came to any fruition. On my part, still got raped by the fucking Ottoman shitbags, and Austria and Hungary's been not really successful at defeating the Ottoman at all. So now let's think about this. What was the other piece of that little puzzle that was really, really important? Yeah, the air traffic and the air patterns are different. Runways are different. They're run by different organizations. I am trying to think of what else my kids might need to know if I go out today and I just die, which would be like the happiest day of my life. But again, I don't want to like incite psychos. Let's think about this. All right. Oh, right. I got a Bronze Age. I have Bronze Age, a Golden Age, and I'm Paleo. I'm always the Paleo. which is fine because I work within the golden and the bronze normally at important things, but I haven't been any of that lately. I seem to not make anybody's schedule, or they keep throwing me back to the dollhouse where I have nothing and I have to watch everything from some spotlight TV set and then translate it for everybody else so they all get some like amazing dream sequence and I just fucking stay on a treadmill and get nowhere, which just breaks the system all the more. Oh, that was the thing. When I was a teenager, I worked at Genevieve's in the drugstore for a while as a cashier. And then I got a job at Walt Whitman Mall when I finally had transportation. And I drove Linda's car there, the white Saab. It was in 1989. And cloth seats, it wasn't like really upper echelon. It was like a hoopty for my area. So would get to the mall and I would work there, and it was the first like retail clothing. I mean, I'm not into clothes, but it was like camping gear. It was, I don't know, it just looked more exciting than Macy's or any of the other, because I don't like clothes, but, or at least what they have out for the public. So I was working in Suffolk County at Walt Whitman Mall in Melville, Huntington area. And then one day they said that they needed help. Something happened. They needed help over in Nassau County. And I had to go work for the same Eddie Bauer, but in Nassau. So I went to Nassau. I showed up at Roosevelt Field Mall in Nassau County. So it's just a further of a drive, but I can drive my car, my automobile, with the 4 wheels. And I get to Roosevelt Field Mall, and and before I could even get out on the floor, it's like we had to have a security brief. And I was just like, I'm like, okay. I was like, well, I didn't work at the other. I mean, they don't do that there. Is that something that is usual here? I mean, like, I was thrown off. And they were like, well, no, in here, well, actually, right, how do you even begin that conversation? Because in Roosevelt Field, their demographic was stealing from the store. They were stealing all sorts of little trinkets and items and whatnot. And in Suffolk County, I guess we didn't have, I mean, the demographic was totally different, that actually shopped at the mall. The ones in Nassau, their demographic was a lot different, but looked like some of the demographic out in Huntington. But the kiddos that looked the same out in Huntington didn't have the money to come to the shops at the mall, where in Nassau they did. But in Nassau, even though they had the money, they were still stealing stuff. And I'm like, and like the manager on for that day is trying to explain to me, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. I was like, first of all, I said, because she was a darker skinned person, and I wasn't, obviously. And so I'm like, you're throwing a lot of vocabulary words at me that I'm not used to hearing, and I'm trying to be polite, but I'm also trying to make sure that I cover what I need to know so I don't have to keep bothering you, and I really get a full picture of this. So now you're saying they're your people in demographic, just so I have a visual, since I might not know how your people behave or whatever. And so no, in the store out in Huntington, they do not have a lot of shoppers that are in your familial skin tone, or whatever words work. I was like, so you lock the case here? All right, so if somebody comes in and they want something from the case, then, right, I have to go get her directly. She has a key, that's fine. And then it was, she's like, but you have to be, I think she said you have to be careful of the case, because sometimes they'll stand near it and they won't even ask you for the key or to come get me, and they'll try to open the case without the key. And like, I was just like, I mean, I get it if we're at that level of criminality, but I mean, they really go to that. I mean, it's your family. I don't know, but and I mean, and again, I can't even speak for the people that look like me because I really don't hang out with them either. I was like, I mean, other than coming to work, I was like, I really don't have much experience with you humans. I was like, no matter the color, I was like, so I can't speak for the my color, and I definitely don't ever speak on yours because I really don't know. I was like, but we'll just stick in this moment for this experience because this is all new to me, and I really didn't think people went to a store with money in their pocket and took things. But apparently you're saying they do. So that's just a tidbit of information I'll just carry with me. So thank you for that. So that happened. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. It's August 24th, 2021. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361, which is Queens County. I'm on a long fish, and the fish starts with the head at Queens, and just below is Kings, counties. It's how they call them, or they call it Brooklyn, Brooklyn for now, and I'm still in Queens County. Then it goes Nassau County, and then it goes to Suffolk County towards the tail end of the fish. So I was living then at the tail end of the fish on the borderline between Nassau and Suffolk. And then they asked me to go from the tail end of the fish into the central body of the fish for Nassau County work at the same Eddie Bauer clothing line, which is still around in retail for brand and marketing. And then that's where the discrepancy in demographic and in population pay scales that somebody brought to my attention, but that was in century 19. I think it was around year 94, maybe 93, 94, 95, somewhere in there. And I didn't stay long at Eddie Bauer. I just didn't, I mean, I like the company was fine. The clothing was nice. I didn't enjoy folding clothes. I hate cleaning. So for me, folding clothes and having to, it just wasn't, I mean, once is enough. I don't need or a month is enough. I don't need years of that kind of work. It's just, and now I'm in the disaster zone, which is Queens. Queens, it's like the whole fucking head of Queens exploded because Manhattan had some kind of United Nations, Queens had some world fair that didn't announce itself to anybody else in the world in the 1960s, and it's a real fucking disaster as to who showed up, and I didn't send out invitations, and I really wasn't looking to grow that storyline, but here we are in a volcanic, broken glass scenario. At plexiglass, that opaqueness is sometimes good that you can't see in, and I can't see you directly because there's the physicality that I'm in this dollhouse, there's parallel dimension, and then there's shadow dimension. There's shadow work that goes on at Shadow Corp. But that's, again, beyond solar system. You're in Earth. Your function is Earth. I get that. Some of you went to the moon just so you could say you could be part of something that was greater than Earth. Now, some of you want to get to Mars. I hope you all fucking die. I hope they come and they hunt you down and they execute every fucking one of you for these fucking shitbag games while I am stuck as a prisoner of war and the mainframe system of Earth is collapsing on itself and hurting innocent people while you shitbag self-indulgent assholes are trying to boot up some space program to show the world just how many awesome shitbag seeds your fucking cock spit out. It's fucking gross. I'm really not impressed.